What's going on out there, YouTube? Back at it again for another movie review. This is SEL0220. I am doing a movie review for a movie I've waited for all last year, and even more so than Amazing Spider-Man and X-Men Days of Future Past, Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier. I apologize ahead of time if I cough, if I sound really stuffed up. I've honestly been really sick the past 3 days. I was supposed to be going actually to a conference in Virginia. It's a Christian conference for PG 2014. I really wanted to go. So shout out to all my spiritual family back in North Carolina that came up to Virginia. I really wanted to invest the time with y'all and fellowship, but I couldn't even get a ride. Not only that, I'm still sick. But I was like, well, in the meantime, I might as well go ahead and get this movie review out the way because I did get to see it in IMAX 3D. So, without further ado, oh, one more thing. Shout out to my mother. I love you. I thank God for you, bringing me into this world, letting God use you to be a really good ventilation for me, and at the same time being a great encouragement as a mother and a parent and a friend. Your birthday is on Monday, April the 7th, so I just want to give you a shout out on this. Love you, Mom. Anyway, without further ado, review. So Captain America 2, it's already made so much money. The first Thursday night when it actually came out, it got away with 10 million on a Thursday in April, which is unheard of. They've never made that much money, but a lot of reviewers have said that this is the best out of the series, and it's all this and all that, all these baggages. I was like, I need to see it for myself to be able to put my spin and my thought process on it. And to be honest, I think it is. I think it's probably one of the best Marvel movies they have come out with yet. I mean, I loved, well, I'll say this. So phase 1, which encompassed Captain America, I'm not going in order or anything like that, Thor 1, you've got Iron Man 1 and 2, and then a kind of Incredible Hulk, but not necessarily within the phase 2, but it kind of was. And so that was all phase 1. Phase 2 encompassed of Iron Man 3, you got Thor, The Dark World, and then now Captain America, and then Guardians of the Galaxy is going to be the final spin before the Avengers comes out, the Age of Ultron, which is going to be pretty epic. But to me, I mean, I thought Thor 2 was amazing. I thought this was even better almost than the Avengers, and Avengers was one of my favorite movies of that time frame. And I didn't like necessarily Iron Man 3. I really didn't. I thought it was the weakest actually so far of phase 2, but this was on a whole different level. So I'm gonna go ahead and start talking about the scope of it. So now y'all know, if any of y'all seen in my other videos, that I am currently living in Virginia, but technically I work in DC. So I've seen all the sites in DC and Maryland and Virginia, and a lot of the shots that they took was straight in DC. I mean, they went like Ronald Reagan, they went to the bridge, they went through different parts of the city. I mean, I saw the Metro bus, I don't even know how many times, like, get destroyed or whatever, and I just thought it was amazing. I remember when they were shooting scenes for the movie, and I was like, man, I want to be extra, I want to be extra. And of course, I had to work, y'all know me. But the scope of this, y'all, it was amazing. The CG in it was amazing. I thought that every single scene, it was eye-catching. For me personally, because I live up this way, but at the same time, for anybody that's kind of seen the older like movies of the 80s and the 90s and those kind of espionage kind of feel movies, that's what it felt the whole entire time. But at the same time, it had this grounded feel of the Marvel Universe. Everything that they've started from before and to now, like, you can see it all over the screen, and all the different characters, they're personified the way they're supposed to be. And so, excuse me. But everything that they did in this movie, it was amazing to watch. Everything that they show as far as even like the 3D, I mean, it wasn't that much 3D, but it was very well done for IMAX. I mean, there were certain shots that I thought, well, wow, that's pretty cool, but it wasn't too many eye-catching things in 3D that I saw kind of flashing at me. And I mean, to me, that's a whole different thing. I can go into 3D debate later on, but for what it was, this movie was amazing. So I will buy it in 3D. I bought Captain America 1 in 3D. But I thought this was actually a really beautiful movie. And even the score, the music for it, every single like different thing that was kind of happening. Within the storyline, there was a point where Captain America or Steve Rogers was talking to Sam Wilson's character, who was played by Anthony Mackie in the beginning of the movie. It's kind of an interesting scene, and they were running through the mall. So if any of y'all know, like the Lincoln Memorial, if you run right through the crossway, like you'll see like the water and everything like that. And Steve Rogers was going so fast. It was such a beautiful shot, especially the beginning. He's going past him around in circles. And he's like, on your left, on your left. Eventually they kind of stopped and was talking, and Steve was telling him he was kind of getting the scope of being back into the world. And Anthony Mackie was telling him like, you should definitely try out Luther Vandross 1992 and check him out. And Steve was just kind of writing in his little book, and it's like, Marvin Gaye? And at a certain point, the song played in the movie, but it's just subtle little tints that it refers back to the past in different songs, but at the same time, the score for it was very encompassing of the intensity level that was happening. It was a lot of different deaths, there's a lot of different threats that were happening, and it was very well done as far as the music goes. So as far as the visuals, I have to honestly give it like a 9 out of 10. I love the scope of how it looked. I love the CG, and it was believable CG, but also a lot of practical effects where you see like the fight scenes. The fight scenes in this is by far probably one of the best I've seen in any Marvel movie, period. And I'm trying to think of another one that would even compare to it. I mean, maybe Thor. Nah, I don't even think that one. So this one, to me, it was some great fighting, great action scenes. It was just, the scope was just amazing. So definitely a 9 out of 10 for that. Between that and the score, I mean, those run hand in hand. Going into the characters, so I have a lot to talk about, and there's gonna be times where I'm gonna tell y'all, spoiler alert, close your ears or don't listen or mute it, whatever you gotta do, because I'm gonna mention a certain character in this. So because I'm not gonna go back through and do a whole spoiler, it's too much to talk about. So off the gate, you got Steve Rogers' character played by Christopher Evans. Chris Evans, he's a great actor. But the role of Cap, he owns it. He is Captain America. I didn't see it back when he was in Fantastic Four or all those overseen movies that he was in. Even like, I think, what was it? He's in Scott Pilgrim at one point. I was like, this is gonna be new Captain America. But it was something about him that I was like, all right, I'll wait and I'll see. And he owns it. I mean, in Captain America 1, they kind of grounded his character as just being this humble kind of guy and wanting a life of being a soldier and be able to help, and then bring him back into the real world to help along the Avengers. And he's not really got any real superpowers, but with how they needed him for leadership and the tenacity and the urgency that he had for his role, they needed him in Avengers. And now he's working with S.H.I.E.L.D. and working as an operative agent, but at the same time, he still has the same ideals and the same responsibilities and still doesn't fit into the world. And the way that Christopher Evans portrays his character, he plays it perfectly. I mean, but even like not just on a physical level, because there are fight scenes in there. I mean, you can just tell they're not the stunt doubles. There's times where he is like going so fast, he's bulldozing through like doors and he's going through windows, and he's just like, he doesn't quit, he doesn't stop. That's his character. And even when I was looking, I was like, Traveling Star. If any of y'all know that reference, give me a shout out. But no, he just did a great job in his character. And then when he finally comes head to head with the main villain arc of the story, the Winter Soldier, who I'm not going to reveal, even though it's kind of, I mean, most people probably already know. It's just an emotional roller coaster from there. But even his interaction with every single person, his interactions with Sam Wilson, interactions with Scarlett Johansson's character, Black Widow, Samuel Jackson, newcomer Alex Pierce, played by Robert Redford, all those interactions, it was so well played out, and he kept the same motivation, the same ideals in every single scene. And so I loved his dedication to the character. I mean, notable in this also was Samuel Jackson's character, Nick Fury, and Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow, because I mean, Natasha and Nick, they get turned out in this one because they're brought a real threat to the security of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the security of their livelihood. Like, they are literally you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, a lot of people see the comics and stuff like that, but this is an adaptation of the comics. It doesn't mean they're going to like necessarily not kill a character. And so, I mean, when I saw Samuel Jackson character in this one, to me, he showed more depth within his character than he did any of the other ones, even the Avengers. And I love the way that like he told about like a story about his grandfather and how his grandfather was like he was an elevator waiter, and he have a smile on his face. He had a trust for man, but then there's the times when the city got different. He still kept doing the same exact thing. He kept a little bag with him. One day somebody tried to rob him. In that same little bag that he had he had a gun in it. And so they didn't mess with him. And he's always kept that ideal mentality. Even though he wants to protect the world, even though he is a people person, he's not going to trust them to do what's right all the time. You can't trust everybody. And that's the thing that he's going to have to blur the lines with, because now he's faced with something that he can't even control, because basically everything's compromised. And he has to put his trust in somebody. And of course that somebody is Steve Rogers. But even like Scarlett Johansson's character, like she goes through identity crisis. I mean, I think that she did such a great job because her character is a source of lies. You can tell it on her expressions on her face when she wants to emote. Even she can't. You can't even tell when she is, but you can tell when she's trying to fake it or turn it. And Steve, he just doesn't play that bullcrap. And so there are times that there's a confrontation between her and Steve. There's times where she's like distraught because of what's going on with S.H.I.E.L.D., with Nick, and it's just really well done. Excuse me, I'm not feeling it well. But did a great job. I thought her acting, I mean, she's just a great actress, period. I think they showed a trailer for her new movie called Lucky, which looks amazing. Anyway, I loved her character in this one more than I have in all the other ones. I loved Nick's character more than I did in all the other ones. So then you have other sub-characters, this including the Winter Soldier, who I will get to last. I'm gonna save him for last. You got Alex Pierce, who is the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. Well, not the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., but he's basically the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. in a sense. Played by Robert Redford, and his character was amazing. His character, it felt straight out of like the 70s. It felt straight out of the 80s espionage like type feel. And they casted the perfect person for this role. And I mean, how he played his role, it's gonna surprise you. I can't spoil anything. All I can say that he did a great job with that role. Anthony Mackie that plays Sam Wilson, which is the Falcon. And I mean, you don't know necessarily Falcon unless you looked at the trailers. If you went to the movie and never looked at any of the trailers, you would be surprised at the depth of his character, because there's a physicality there, yes, and there's a daringness that's just like right on line with Captain. It kind of feel like Sam Wilson is the new partner to Captain America, but not necessarily more so than Scarlett Johansson's character is. But it was really well acted. It was really well done. It was really heartfelt. The urgency he had to protect his country, even though he wanted a life of his own and to be away because of something that happened in the past, like he still is in a second. He's like, all right, Captain America needs me, I'm down, you know? And I mean, even throughout the whole world, and I think that's the ambiance of the whole film, that Captain America is a presence of good there, almost to the lines of like Superman, that hasn't been established yet. Batman and Superman, I can see why now Batman and Superman, when it comes out in 2016, that it's going to be paired off against Captain America 3, because I'm going to be there. I can't wait for both now. But I thought that Anthony Mackie did a great job with his acting in that one. There are other notable characters in it. This guy that's named Brock Rumlow, and he's with Steve Rogers' team in the beginning. You'll see him, but there's something that happens within S.H.I.E.L.D. and you find out, well, y'all don't know, but spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. If you don't want to know, don't listen. I'm just going to be talking about the people that are kind of spoilerish in this. Brock Rumlow is going to be Crossbones. Crossbones is a villain of the Marvel Universe. I can't say how and what way it's going to happen, but yeah, look out for that. Okay, and like I said, it's going to be interesting. Another person that I'm a spoiler alert now. I'm just going to go ahead through the spoilers real quick. You got a person that's named Kate. Kate is the person that is the next door neighbor to Steve, and Scarlett Johansson's character trying to get him to like go and like ask her out and stuff like that. But you find out later on she's her name really is Agent 13, so you don't know who she is. If you know the Marvel Universe, Agent 13 is actually Sharon Carter. Sharon Carter is an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., a secret agent right underneath Nick. But the kicker is, if y'all know who Peggy Carter is the first love interest of Cap. That's Peggy's niece. And so it all goes full circle. It's really interesting. Another thing, all right, spoilers are gone. No more spoilers. Another thing with this is that Peggy Carter actually makes another appearance in an older form, and it's really good seeing the interaction of that character in this one, because it shows like Cap still has not let go of the past, nor can he, because it helps define him what keeps him going, why is he continuously doing what he's doing. And her role in this, it was very well heartfelt. It was very, very intimate scene. I really thought it was really needed into this to ground the film into a more serious role. So without further ado, I have one final spoiler at the end. I'm going to talk about this at the end of my review, but the Winter Soldier. I mean, there's nothing I can say other than amazing. I mean, this guy, he turned everything out. There were times where, I mean, I was like, they have no way of winning this, because like, he has no remorse. He's had 50 years worth of training. He's a secret weapon that has literally been strategically placed to take everyone out. And I mean, including Nick, including Scarlett Johansson's character Black Widow, and including Steve Rogers more than anyone. But the way that Sebastian plays this role, Sebastian Stan did an amazing job. I mean, it's comparable to Tom's role in Loki in the Marvel Universe. I think that if they keep this character, this villain, I mean, it'll be amazing, because hand-to-hand combat-wise, he is almost better than everyone. I mean, he's got a metal arm, but at the same time, he's got the viciousness of... It's like taking Cap's role as a non-quit role of a force of good, taking a non-quit role of a force of darkness that's misplaced. It's like, I mean, psychologically he is damaged. And so it's not like he even has control of what he's doing. Now that's a downfall and it's a good thing, but it was amazing to watch. I mean, his dude was legit. And I promise you, he does take out a lot of people. And some of them are main characters. That's all I'll say. I'll leave it at that. So, I mean, I thought the characters were amazing. There are two other characters towards the end of the movie that y'all are not going to expect. All I can say is X-Men reference. And that's all. That's all I can say. But you have to wait till the end of the credits. So going into the last bit of the story, I thought the story was very grounded. I thought the story was amazingly intriguing. It wasn't a point where it was too much action. It wasn't a point where it's too much plot driven. The scripting was amazing because it kept me going and thinking and processing who's turning on who, what is going to happen here. But at the same time, the investments of the characters I've just talked about, they're interwoven in everything. Everybody has a story arc. Everybody has a meat and a driven need to excel in protecting the world, or their idea of what the world should be. And I mean, yes, Hydra is involved in this. Yes, S.H.I.E.L.D. is involved in this. Yes, the Avengers are involved in this. There's so many different things that play onto this, that this was one of the most interwoven, well completed stories that I think that they've ever done in the Marvel Universe. And I mean, it keeps you guessing all the way to the end. And like I said, you need to wait till after the credits. I can't spoil too much because I've already talked about all the characters enough. But all I can say is this was an amazing ride. I mean, the story to me, I think I give it a 9 out of 10. The acting and the characters for it, I give it a 9 out of 10. All in all, the movie itself, I give it at least a 9.0. I would love to give it even more. But I know that I'm going to reserve that for Avengers Age of Ultron, if not Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know. I think Guardians of the Galaxy is going to be interestingly fun. But yeah, wait until the end of the credits. Like I said, 3 technically. There's a villain in the third act, and then there's 2 interesting characters that are children of a very powerful dare I say, no, I'm not. Anyway, X-Men reference for that. But I really hope y'all really enjoyed my review for Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier. Look forward to a review for me doing The Raid 2. I think that was going to be really amazing. I'm probably going to maybe see that on Sunday if I'm not still sick. I really wanted to go, like I said, to the PG 2014 conference with my spiritual family from back in North Carolina. But I don't even know if I'll be able to get out of the house today. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to interact with my YouTube family. So I hope y'all enjoyed the review. Leave your comments at the bottom. If you like this review, please leave a like at the bottom if you don't mind. And if there's anything else y'all really want me to go into or give spoilers about, let me know, inbox me, send a response. I'll do it. I ain't got anything else going on today. All right, everybody. This is SEL020. Later. Dos Fadanya. Am I not turtly enough for the Turtle Club? Oh crap. I'm on. Oh shoot. Crap. Oh crap. Oh man. Not feeling well. Alright. Come on. Get yourself together. Alright. Let's go.